Welcome back to Baywatching Nights, folks! I've unfortunately ran out of Baywatch Nights scripts to talk about, but I'm sure some of you might be relieved after the hour-long marathon that was my last night's analysis. However, Hot Winds is still a pretty interesting episode with lots of things to talk about, not the least of which is that this is basically the happening before the happening. For those who might not be aware, M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening centers on a mysterious wind that causes people to harm themselves in various terrible ways.
Plan on murdering me in my sleep?
What? No!
But 11 years before that movie came out, Baywatch Nights aired the critically acclaimed Hot Winds, an episode centered around a mysterious wind that causes people to harm themselves in various terrible ways. I'm not going to say that M. Night Shyamalan watched Baywatch Nights and perhaps subconsciously used this idea in his equally respected film, but there is an internet rumor that he ripped off an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark when he wrote The Sixth Sense, so it's funnier to imagine he did. And on top of that, this isn't even the first episode of Baywatch relating to a magic wind, and this goes without saying, this is a plot that didn't need to happen once, let alone 3 times. On a further crazy note, this episode is near the tail end of Baywatch Nights' warehouse era, but it somehow is shot with some sort of ambition. That's because it's directed by Parker Stevenson! Yes, old Craig is back! His last directing gig was in season 3, and while this is the only episode of Nights he directed, he'll be back on screen next season on Baywatch proper. Other returning actors are Rance Howard, who was last seen in the 3rd ever episode of Baywatch, as a fireman, ironically, and Krista Frazier, who was in season 6 as, Danny's girlfriend? Lifeguard Jenny, as usual, is not in this episode or this show. Content warning. This episode features a lot of flashing images. Unfortunately, it's kind of tied in with the monster in this one, so I can't really edit them out. Sorry. We begin in the desert. You're gonna be seeing a lot of it in the next 40 minutes. A couple walks into shot, flagrantly dubbed over. This goes on for 1.5 minutes.
You ever been here before?
No, no, I haven't been here.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's just, wait up a minute.
Wow, look at that.
A little steep for me.
Let's check it out.
Oh, look, we got company. Well, why do you have to run?
There it is, Chuck. Our destination.
Oh, up here? Okay.
These
That's
rocks?
terrific.
They're amazing.
When stuff actually starts to happen, we find out that they aren't a couple, and this guy is, in fact, in the friend zone.
It's beautiful.
Thanks.
You know, I'm so lucky to have you for a friend.
Friends always give each other heart lockets to say I love you. Yep, that's what friends do. That's when Vasquez Rocks starts to break wind. The two of them investigate, and that's when the fart wizard attacks. Ah yes, the fart wizard. One of many unique and terrifying creatures Baywatch Nights thrust upon the world. The Fart Wizard is played by Rick Zumwalt, 5-time world champion in arm wrestling, who's probably most recognized for his starring role in the Sylvester Stallone film Over the Top. But he should be most known for playing the Fart Wizard, because this is where he really got to show off all of his talents. Look at him, swing that stick, that's a championship arm right there. Apparently, walking up to that hole and kicking a rock into it really pissed off the Fart Wizard, because now he's unlocked all of his oldest, crappiest wind stock footage he could find. Meanwhile, at the Buke-Bride-B agency, Mitch is dutifully ignoring Ryan.
Ouch!
This should be how every scene starts from now on, with escalating ways of torturing Mitch, preferably culminating in a nut shot. Confusingly, Mitch apologizes for being a jerk and gives Ryan a warm hug? Who the hell is this, and what has he done with Mitchell Buchanan? What do you know about fart wizards? Teague explains that there's been a bunch of people acting crazy, and Mitch says it's the Santa Ana winds because they always make people go crazy. And then Teague says these winds are different because they're hotter, even though Teague hadn't mentioned any wind prior to this. And I guess the audience knows the wind is connected to these crazy incidents, despite the fact all we've seen so far is a couple scream into a hole. And then Ryan asks why hotter, as if that makes sense.
Why hotter?
Mitch is more concerned with the fact winds don't have origins, which is an equally nonsense thing to say.
Winds do not have an origin.
I think Mitch is full of hot wind. Teague's team, whoever the fuck they are, doesn't know exactly where the winds are originating. All they do know is they've come out of a lot of cracks.
So you think that winds coming out of these cracks are causing all the incidents?
There shouldn't be this much hot wind exiting out of all these cracks. Something doesn't smell right here.
That's right, Mitch, and we need you two to blow this case wide open.
We recorded the wind, and when we slowed it down, this is what we heard.
It's off to the desert with Teague! Along the way, they encounter a distressed man with gum stuck to his fingers.
Free gum? Gimme! You have to pry this gum for my dead body! No! You're wasting it! This is madness!
Despite the fact they are currently on a mission to investigate some wind they believe is making people go crazy, all three of them assume it's just some guy on drugs. Amazing detective work by all.
An astrologer would say it's something that came in from the sky. A mystic would say it's the rebirth of an evil presence. We can have coffee at Starbucks and talk about it. But right now, we have to go.
Then they find a guy lighting himself on fire, and you really start to get the happening vibes.
Good God! Good God!
Like, the "are you afraid of the dark" thing may or may not be true, but I mean, this plot is so specific and bad, I kinda have a hard time believing it was thought up independently twice. Ryan tells Mitch that she saw the fart wizard standing on top of the car, and Mitch makes this face, so fill in the blank as to how you think he responds.
A few minutes later, that guy would have been well done.
Maybe that was the intention.
Well, Teague, he didn't set himself on fire to cool off. Teague isn't completely useless, however, because Ryan's description of the fart wizard and his fart stick seem familiar to him. And by that, I mean he says the Yuki Indians used to live here and doesn't elaborate on why those two things connect. And he thinks maybe it's a spirit, because he always thinks it's a spirit. They come across a mob attacking a car, and then Teague calls Mitch Mick?
There's a man inside that car.
Mick, no.
And for the third time in a row now, Mitch rushes in to help while Ryan and Teague stand around and do nothing. No, Ryan, Mick's got this.
Go, go, come on, go, go!
I gotta admit, M. Night Shyamalan stole from the best. I'll hold them off with my one gun while you get in the car. Is half of this episode our heroes encountering people who are certainly dead, who miraculously survive, then stuffing them in the car, only for them to disappear shortly thereafter, never to be mentioned again? Yes. Using Teague's vague information from before, Ryan has searched up Yuki tribe man with stick on the internet and come up with the answer. The fart wizard is called Bruja, and the Yukis believed he was the evil essence of the wind.
The guy with the stick is called Bruja. The Yukis believed he was evil essence of the wind.
This explains a lot while explaining fuck all. Bruja is simply Spanish for witch, and a female witch more specifically, and I don't know if the Yukis use that particular term, and I don't think if they do, it refers to some evil wind guy. But anyway, his shenanigans with his evil wind stick caused the Yukis to move out of the region. Before that, they sealed him inside his lair, so I guess they decided to also run away for good measure. Later, Teague says that the fart wizard escaped his lair due to land development, despite the fact Ryan is the only one who found out anything about the fart wizard, while Teague just said vague things about spirits.
Maybe it was a spirit.
That's documented.
Yeah, right here in mythology.
Oh, right, yeah, it's documented in Mythology, the website.
Think about this, guys. It makes total sense. Hurricanes, tornadoes, cyclones, typhoons, they all have a very destructive force.
Ryan's supposed to be a scientist, right? I mean, look, in canon, they fought mummies and demons, but you don't actually need to come up with magical explanations for natural disasters. We have normal ones.
Mitch, there he is again!
Baby tossin' time.
Do it! No, don't! Do you have any idea how young that baby would make me look if I adopted it? Think for a second! Wait, the fart wizard is real? Nah, son of a Mitch! Here, women folk hold the babies. I'll take it from here, Teague. There's no need for anyone else to do anything in this episode.
With all of this insanity occurring around them, one big question looms in the air like a gaseous cloud. Why haven't the hot, steamy winds affected them?
Why isn't it affecting us?
I don't know. Maybe it's because we're onto them.
Yeah, that tracks. The wind can't get you if you're onto it.
Hey guys, what's up? You figured out how to defeat my farts yet?
All right, what are we looking for?
Where the wind is coming from, the origin.
Yeah, that's the whole reason you came out here!
And how are we gonna stop it?
The Mississippi starts as a stream. It builds as it travels. We find the source, stop the Mississippi.
Oh, I see. In order to stop it, they have to stop it. At last, they found the fart wizard's hole, and they're gonna have to plug it up if they want to stop his hot winds from escaping.
Sup? Whoa! Didn't expect to encounter any strong winds when facing against the evil wind guy.
According to IMDb, he's a satanic worshiper.
And our episode descriptions are always right on IMDb.
Ah, way to ditch me, guys. With Teague out of commission due to his glass bones, Mitch and Ryan must burrow deep into the fart wizard's hole. And like the great sci-fi masters before them, Baywatch Nights once again finds itself in their cave set.
Good God.
Good God! Good God!
What's an I love you friendship necklace doing down here?
Throughout all of this episode, they keep cutting to footage of actual disasters and pretending this has to do with the fart wizard. And apparently, this is destruction of apocalyptic proportions, which can't be good for Baywatch's SeaWorld show. The fart wizard is too powerful, Mitch. We'll never defeat him.
I've got this, Ryan. No one's a bigger blowhard than me.
It's the stick. He's using it to control the wind.
We got that forever ago.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna fight him!
Brilliant tactical move on Mitch's part. Maybe for once, I can save the day.
Not without a man telling you what to do, you don't.
If you say so.
No! The other way!
You're so stupid! Of course it's the other way, for some reason. Oh no, it's reversed my footage!
I did it! I saved the day!
Fine, I'll give you half of that save, but that's it! Now what the hell are we supposed to do with this fart stick? Whatever, just ignore that filming equipment in the corner. We're going home.
There's a lot to be learned from that stick.
Nah.
How come I always get the short end of the stick?
Pretty funny stick.
Laugh with me. Okay, hurts.
Always want to sit in the bar while turns in so well.
Next time on Baywatch, Samantha has an ex-fiancé? Meanwhile, Numi likes a hot lady. Love is in the air.